Hi guys, this is Dave from theme2html.com, and I want to walk through two things you can do with a master sitemap real quick that are very useful. And let me just preface, okay? So we submitted the sitemap last night to Google Webmasters, okay? Just a sample sitemap, a few links, kind of wanted to watch and see how they'd react, how quick they'd react, different things like that. This is very cool. So they popped up indexing already the first chunk of pages out of that sitemap, and that's cool because it happened just last night that we put this thing up. So it's been, just, I don't know, 16 hours maybe. Now here's the point. Even our Google schema is showing through, so take a look at that. We're getting star ratings and stuff to show up on pages. So that's cool. They'll show up whenever. Google lets them show here and there. But the fact of the matter is it's counting and it's indexed, and that's just neat. Now, having said that, this is kind of cool because I was looking at some of these pages like must sell faster homes sales in Payson, damage ready to sell your home in Corona, must sell your old home now in Garden Grove. And so I just started popping these pages open. I was just curious, so if I did a semi-longer tail, semi-shorter tail search, like fast home sales in Payson, we're right here. Must sell faster home sales in Payson. That's the very one. Okay. That's kind of cool. And then I'm like, sell your home in Corona. Page 2 for that right now. But still, we showed up like, what, 16 or so, 17 down the page. I don't know what, 17 down the page. Damage ready to sell your home in Corona. And this is, this is fast, okay? Sell your home now, Garden Grove, okay? And where are we? Like right here, halfway down. Yeah, number 5, I think. 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, number 6. It's like, dang, that's pretty quick. So you see, this is where all these clicks come from, just showing up for these broad keyword combinations. Wait till we actually put up full-scale sitemaps, 5,000 pages times each state, or more. Some of these states have more. All right, there you go. There's that. Now, here's the cool thing. Calls are starting to appear in the log, okay? So some guys are going to start earning income from calls appearing in the log. Yeah, again, not many, not a lot, but like 16 calls. That's kind of cool. So we're just kind of building it up as we go. It's really neat. So now I want to show you how the master sitemaps work, because this is important. It's like, how did I even get that to happen? Because that was all organic, right? None of that had to do with ads at all. So here it is. Let's go to sellyourhome-now.com, and I'm going to go to the main sitemap link that's on there. Okay. And I'm looking at these 5 here. So let's say I choose one of these. As you know, these are by state. That's the whole idea. And they each have a master sitemap. So let me just click on something like California for the master sitemap. And here, when you're looking, okay, then here's how it goes. There's a catch-all sitemap and then a bunch of other sitemaps. Now, these are sitemaps. These are not pages. That means that these are sections within California that are organized by attention-grabbing headline, keyword, whatever it is we want. So take a look, sellyourhomenow.com/California/ it says what? Like get cash now for your home, sitemap.html. And if I click on that, all of the pages in here stay within that section, get cash now for your home. And then you have the city state, okay? That's being applied in this case. So this is Huntington Beach, California, get cash now for your home. Right? Redding, California, get cash now for your home. That's the angle there. Now, if I come back, I could choose another one, ready to sell your home, different key phrase, different headline. And sure enough, ready to sell your home in Carmel, California, ready to sell your home in Laguna Beach, California, pages that are specific to that idea. And then these relate, like, for what is this, Claremont, California. And if I go, sure enough, home in Claremont, we buy your cheap properties. Now, Control C, Control H. I'm sorry, I don't need Control H for this. I need Control F. Claremont. 28 instances of the use of the term Claremont all the way down the page. Okay, so that's pretty cool. It's there, Having said all that, Here's the real question. How do I get the sitemaps out of these? Like if I want to submit them to Google Webmasters, check it out. When you are on a sitemap.html, you can change that to sitemap.txt, and that gives you the equivalent links as a TXT file. So this could be a sample sitemap to submit to Google just to see how they react to a smattering of pages, right? But what if you want to go bigger? Well, you can, because then you might say, what about the idea that this is one section of pages, but each one of these is a different section of pages? How am I supposed to submit all the sitemaps? I don't want to go in here and copy this, paste it in Notepad. Whoops, sorry. Copy, boom, and then paste, and then go to the next line and have to go back out and come to the next sitemap down, like if I wanted to get all the links. Do you see what the issue is here? And by the way, for those who say, why are they in separate pages anyway? Why isn't it just all on one big fat page? Because Google bots do not like going more than 200 links deep, and usually by themselves will not crawl more than 200 links deep anyway at any one time. So you're relying on the interlinking of the pages within your pages themselves to allow Google to find the rest of your pages, okay? So just to keep it in mind, that's the reason for hierarchically organized sitemaps. Google likes seeing that structure and substructure that comes out of sets of sitemaps that are working together hierarchically. Okay, so there's a section, and then within that another section, and that's pages, right? Click on any one of them, you're on a page. So back to the big question, the $200,000 question. How do we get all the links for all the sitemaps? We already thought of that. So anytime you see master-sitemap.html, like one for every state, then you can change that to TXT, and that will show you all of the links for all of those sitemaps on one page. That's a lot of links, okay? So now if I submit that to Google Webmasters and it comes and reads all those URLs, it's going to say, got it, got all the links, like 5,000 or whatever's here. Now you might say, wait a minute, you've got them all on one page again. The answer is yes, but these are not for the bots to come and crawl through. These are not for humans to come and crawl through. This is an exact list of links, right? For Google to understand what that list is. Okay, that's a different thing than humans looking through sitemaps for something interesting to them and then thinking, oh, I'm here and I just want to see what that means to me. Okay, that's a different issue altogether in the bot. So there you go. So one of the big purposes of a master sitemap file, okay, is that if you switch to .txt, then you can actually just right then and there submit that URL to Google Webmasters, and there you go. There you have it, right? That way Google can pick up on the whole thing really, really quick. For guys who say, how come, Dave, you didn't submit the whole thing right away? There are a lot of reasons why, actually. So, you know, some of it is to see how Google reacts to a small sample before you overwhelm them. You don't want to shove a lot of links down Google's throat. You really don't. You want to invite Google in kind of gracefully, and so you give them some and see how they react. Once they've dealt with what you've given them, and you can tell that they've indexed the majority of it, like at least 80%, then you can say, all right, let me feed you a little more, you know, and then when they react well to that, okay, let me feed you a larger batch, and they react well to that. That's a much wiser way to go. There is a much more technical reason why. Google does lots and lots of checks, not just on each page individually, but how they interweave with the other pages you provide. So if you thought of it as a binary check, just one on-off check that Google would make per page, well, think about the effort. So if you upload 10-page site, that's 2 raised to the 10th. It has to look at all the combinations of links from each page pointing into each other page to determine relevance of page versus page and stuff like that. That's 2 raised to the 10th. Well, what if you submit a 100-page website? Now it's 2 raised to the 100. See how that is dramatically more demanding, right? Or what about 2 raised to the 1,000? Now here's the issue. Google's doing close to 300 checks per page. So it's really like 292 raised to the 5,115 pages times however many of these states, right? And there's the issue of submitting all at once. There's actually studies done on the heat produced by the server farms that Google has just to be able to weed through all of the sitemaps that people are submitting all the time. I mean, you could run a small country on the heat produced by the Google servers just trying to weed through sitemaps. Okay, interesting stuff. Having said all that, that's one great use for the links. What's another one? Let me just show you. For those who don't know, in Google AdWords, okay, we'll just not save this. In Google AdWords, there is such a thing as a bulk upload file. And many of the fields are optional, some are required. And just here's some stupid, simple versions of what that would look like. In any AdWord campaign, you're going to start with a campaign, like one for plumbers, another for roofing, another for whatever. And within the certain campaign, you're going to have one or more ad groups. And inside each of the ad groups that you have, and they ought to be broken down by keyword groups. So really, this isn't a perfect demonstration because it's kind of difficult to make one, but this should sort of, if these are all emergency terms, then this whole thing should really be for emergency, you know, like down to here, okay? And then this might be just something like a plumbing repair service, and that might actually cover for all these, okay? And then these may be, yeah, you know, whatever. You can just pretend that they belong to one of these, okay? And so we could have a lot of, sorry about the numbers being all funny. We could have a lot of different concepts involved here. That's just auto numbering, never mind it. Okay, we could have a lot of different concepts involved here. And then what do you have inside each ad group? Many keywords that relate to the ad group. So if you have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 keywords that belong to that ad group, that's why this would have to come down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It would be for those 5 keywords that belong to it, right? Now, a lot of reasons for segregating out ad groups from one another, and it has a lot to do with lowering your cost per click. We'll talk about that later. Right now, I just want to talk about these mechanics. As you probably understand, we want to match the keywords to the page. And when we have 5,000 pages we uploaded that are each focused on a different keyword and a different location, wouldn't it be best for quality score if we related that keyword to that page for that location only, another keyword to another page with that location only? Yeah. And you might think, well, wow, we're going to get like huge lists here, aren't we? And the answer is we could, but we can also upload the whole thing paused. And then we could selectively enable a few at a time, test them out, make sure we're on the right path. So take a look. Max cost per click per keyword, you know, within each ad group, within each campaign, okay? I don't even remember what the max is to a single file like this when you upload. There may not be one. You could upload 20,000. I think I'd have to go back and double check. Haven't done this in a while. But the concepts are the same as they've always been. Take a look at this. Campaign, ad group, business name, phone number, phone country, description line 1 and 2. The way the URL should look on the ad. Nice, simple, cool, decent looking URL. And where the URL really will point when you click it. Like if I click that, it'll really go here. And call reporting is enabled or not, that kind of thing for, you know, call only ads, right? And there you go. Now, and specify conversion action. Having said all that, what is the theoretically wrong thing about this? Well, this is the same URL. It's the same URL for every, you know, keyword. That can't be the best match possible, can it? No, it can't. So let's start with a simple concept. How do I even possibly organize those two columns, really, all my URLs and all my keywords, right? Let's just start with that concept. So here I am sitting on my master sitemap, okay? I can do it with a master or an individual sitemap. And this whole thing is going to be for Utah, and I already know that. So I might do sections of ad groups for a Utah campaign, you know? Now, so my campaign would be like sell home Utah, you know, and then the ad group would be whatever, the city. If I wanted to go selective, I could do that. Here though, let me just show you the big hack. Control A, Control C. Okay. All right, I'm going to create a text file. Okay, and I'm going to call it AdWords draft. Okay, 1. All right, and I could open it and paste in all my URLs. Okay, that's pretty cool. So I got to start, right? I got a text file with all those URLs on it. Great, good start. Now I'm going to rename that thing from a .txt to a .csv. That gives me something I can work with in a database format. Okay, cool. So I'm going to take this thing, and what would that be like? That would be like the insert. What's it called again? Destination URL? There you go. That's the destination URL. What are we going to call the like display URL? Right? The short, sweet version? Something shorter. Maybe it would just be something like this. Okay. And that would be the same all the way down, right? Like Control C. What is that? Control Shift N, and then right click Control V. There we go. Now we got that all the way down. Okay. I'm just showing you ideas, right? Now, save, right? Now, here's the thing. So far, you've got some of this figured out. Let's remove the hyperlink. Okay. Watch this. Control C. I want to do a couple of things here. One, I'm going to paste this in here, call this keywords, and I'm going to start with that. So how am I going to do that? I am going to get rid of everything that is not a keyword from just this column. So Control H, yeah, it should be Control H. That, replace it with nothing. Make sure I've got that selected. Replace all. Oh, getting a little bit closer to what the appropriate keyword or attention-grabbing headline, whatever it is I want to use, would be in this case. And yeah, when we do our runs, we're going to be very serious about keywords being involved in the format. So again, I'm going to make sure I got the right column selected. I don't want to drop anything from my URLs, just my keywords. So I'm going to get rid of all the .htmls, replace all. Okay. Well, it's getting a little closer, isn't it? Let me remove the hyperlink. Index could be anything. I'm just going to say, sell your home in Utah or just Utah. Okay, because I could set these broad, exact, or whatever. Now what else? Well, how about I get rid of the dashes? Okay, I'm going to replace the dash with a space. Okay. Now, there's one more thing I want to do, actually. I want to get the city like into a new column, right? By the way, there is such a thing as /index for index pages. Aha, like there. I'm going to get rid of all those /indexes because I don't see any reason for them. Control C, /index from that column only. Replace all. Okay. If you screw up and accidentally delete it from everything, what do? Hit the back button, right? Hit the back button. Save your work from time to time just to make sure you got it. All right. I would like to separate out the city and the state. First of all, I don't even need the state. I can put the state in its own column or something like that. So I'm just going to get rid of space Utah, because that's how everything ends here. Let's say I wanted city and state in two different columns. If it's city state, I'll just leave it together. But if I want to separate, I'll separate it. Replace all. Okay. Now, that's because I'm going to have this. Let me get back to the top and create city and state. Okay. Utah. Again, I can take that all the way down, right? Control C, Control Shift End. Right click in there, paste this values. Okay, now for the city, here's where I got to get a little bit more complex. Somehow I have to pull it out of this, and the way I can tell what the city is caused by is that slash. So what I really want to do is change this slash to a new line to let Excel know that I want to treat that slash as a line break, you know, or well, line break, a cell break, a delimiter. And so here's how I'll do that. I gotta just kind of cheat. So I'm gonna make sure not to lose track of my order. I'll keep my order the same. But watch this. I'm gonna take my copy here. I'm gonna open it because again, I want to get rid of anything else. Highlight the whole thing so I can double click up in here. Right. Now I just want to keep that. Okay. Delete the rest. Everything I don't need for the moment. Delete. Now I've got to switch that so that it shows up over here instead. So here's the way I'm going to do that. I'm going to open the thing with Notepad, which allows me to make that operation happen. Okay. Now, see the slash? I'm going to Control-C, Control-H, Control-V, replace all slashes with what? A comma. Normally, those would normally be commas, but because of the way I have my program running on my computer, I use pipes. So I'm going to use a pipe. But for you, it would be a comma normally. Now, do you need to do all this stuff? No. If you're getting into the productions where we're doing this stuff for you, you're getting in the streamlined version or you're getting into the LPE directly, then yes, we're doing all this for you. But for those of you who are interested in doing this for yourself, you know, I'm just showing you how it's done because it's really good to know. So now if I open it, there we go. Okay. I don't know why it still pulled that out of its hat. Shouldn't have. But here we go. What have we got? Okay. I don't know about the top one. I might just call that alt over here. You know, I can fix the top couple. I noticed that they were different anyway. Like this is just supposed to be the whole area. So maybe that's just NA. I don't even know. Or I might even take that out. But what I need to do is copy this, right, back in to where it should be here. Okay. Okay. Control V. Those two columns. Now what do we got? Okay. Destination URL. Display URL. The keyword, whatever it's supposed to be. I don't even know. This doesn't really say much. It just says Alta Utah. So, you know, I'll just come up with it here. Whoops. So, you know, sell your home in Alta, Utah, or in Alta, you know. And this will be the city. And that'll be the state. Now, again, I may say, well, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this, you know. And if I really didn't, just delete it. Otherwise, leave it blank, leave the city blank, and it's just the state that gets preferential treatment. You know, we'll just make sure to deal with these cases anyway. But here's the point. If you want to just deal with these separate and deal with the main page separate, you can do it. And so you get all of this in here this way. And it's coming together. See, so then we could have what hours the ads start to show up during the day, what hours they quit showing during the day, weekdays only or not, all the different columns that can apply to the hours settings because they're there. You know, again, status. For anyone who's scared to upload all these because it's like, well, what if I activate 5,000 hours all at the same time? Have them all show up as paused to begin with. Control-C, Control-Shift-End, Control-Paste. And then what we're going to do is just enable, you know, whichever ones we feel like enabling. Now you might say, well, how am I supposed to track what I'm going to enable? Well, here might be an idea. Let's do this. Let me back up one. Got to pause. Let me sort by city. Maybe I want to sort by city or I want to sort by keyword. How am I trying to handle my ad groups? By city? By keyword? Right? If I go by city, I can be more specific about where each ad group is supposed to display. So maybe what I'll do is say, oh, sorry, home. Hello, where is it now? Hate it when I go looking for things and can't find them. Oh, data, of course. I'll do A to Z. And yes, expand the selection. I wanted to include everything else in the sort for sure. There you go. Now, I have sensible control over what's going on. All of this down through 138, right? Starting at here Oh, I got to go find where I had city. I got to move my header back up to the top. Oh boy, that's not so hard. What about destination? Yep, there it is. Okay, fine. Control X. And insert. There. All right, got it. And so there shouldn't be an empty spot down there because I cut and then inserted. Anyway, take a look at that. Everything's organized in that sense. And anything down below that that just feels disorganized or like it's not enough information, not full, I may as well just delete that anyway. Why even bother with it? You know? Okay, delete. Okay, so good. This gives me plenty of fodder, right? Plenty of fodder. I have more than I need. So I can get to work. I can start creating all my ad groups. By the way, that could be exactly what's going on here. That could be the city and the state and the status, but I could paste it here, and I could call this ad group. Get it? And, you know, whatever my campaign was anyway was what? Campaign. Hello. Distressed homes, you know. Utah. Get it? And so then I'll just kind of like put these in the beginning, you know, cut and just paste them in the beginning, right? Oh, well, not what I meant. Insert cut cells. There we go. And yeah, cut, insert cut cell. By now, I'm just beating a dead horse. But you understand the concept, right? Control C, Control Shift N. Ooh, now it went all the way. I didn't want that. I just went down in its own right. Got to remember exactly what I'm doing all the time. So what is that? Oh, well, Control C and then paste. Got it. Boom. There we go. So this is the kind of point I'm making, right? About how these things are organized and then uploaded. What's the point? My keywords match my pages, okay? This is how I get the highest quality score, organizing the ad groups and organizing the keyword sets to the pages directly. Isn't that pretty cool? I hope you like it. I mean, this is the kind of thing that allows us to decide the organization of the URLs, the use of H1, H2 headlines, page titles, meta descriptions, links, and figure out all of our organization for our URLs. These get to be anchored text on the pages if we want, that we can search from for future productions against these URLs, so that we have exact match internal links in our productions as we add new pages on a website that point at exactly the right page, you know? And we can also do that when we link out to other websites we're creating to knit our backlinking network together, right? Because I can take this list of matching anchor text with pages and stick them on cross-weaving productions that we do on different websites down low. In those reference links that are shifted between productions are sort of randomly put in place out of stacks so that we get nice interweaving sets, you know, across the productions. Some that point into the same site and then some that point out to other sites, right? Knit the whole backlinking network together. Really awesome. So that's all organic power and also helps with quality score for AdWords in the same breath. That's how you use your master sitemaps. How's that? So this is the strength and the point of that. Okay, I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you found it interesting. There you go. I got more stuff coming.